Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar this afternoon, where we're going to take a look at this new training product from PTC called Creo LEARN. My name is Rob Romanowski. I am the Director of Sales Operations for 3HTI, and it's a little bit of a rainy day here in Philadelphia. I hope it's contrary to the show. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Every once in a while it does rain, which is good because it's good for the flowers. But anyway. With me today to take you through this journey for the next 45 minutes is Andrea Davis. And Andrea Davis is an application engineer with PTC, focusing now on the Creo LEARN product. And we also have Scott Barkman on the call or on the webinar, who is an ATP director with PTC. He's been with PTC for 20 years, and he helped to put together a lot of the, I guess, the back-end capabilities for Creo LEARN. And, you know, I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to steal anything away from Andrea or Scott. But I mean, this is a tremendous product to help provide, to give, whether you've been a Creo user for a long time, or if you're new to using Creo, this is a great way to get up to speed, to find out, you know, what you don't know and how to become more proficient and efficient at using the software. And it's a super flexible program. And I'm just going to pass everything over to Andrea right now so she can get started with her presentation. If you have any questions, put those, type those into the dashboard, and we'll try to answer them as we go along, but we'll definitely have a Q&A session at the end, and we're trying to get everything wrapped up within the next 45 minutes. So Andrea, you have the con, and we can see your screen.
All righty. Does everything look clear to you? Just starting off, hi everyone. My name is Andrea Davis. Very excited to kind of chat with everyone today. We have prepared a presentation going over our latest and greatest and our newest training platform called Creo LEARN. I do also have my director on the call with us, Scott Barkman. And basically what we wanted to do is just chat a little bit further about this training platform and what it does. So I guess just starting off, Scott, I did want to pass this over to you.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. So, Andrew, you can hear me fine?
Yes, I can.
Check.
Loud and clear,
All right.
Scott.
Good, thank you, Robert. Well, guys, thank you very much for inviting me here. It has been a great pleasure to be able to present this to you guys today, because you know, this is actually a pretty exciting offer when we really think about what this really brings to our customers, and really even to you know, the individual users at the customers that, you know, have maybe been struggling how to learn Creo, or maybe just, you know, aren't brushed up on all the new technology and the new capabilities because maybe they've been using it for years and just haven't had the chance to go through training. This offering is really a great way to do that, and so we're pretty excited about it. And we have found that, you know, a lot of our customers really enjoy the experience, especially as we look at the situation we are in today, where many of us are having to do things remotely and work from home. This is an offering that really supports that. Even works, you know, probably even better, you know, working from home in some cases. So this is something I think you'll find a lot of fun and very enjoyable. So first of all, what is the Learn Online subscription and why is it so important? Well, before we talk about the subscription, I think, you know, what's really important is you think about, you know, why is training so important to customers, right? And to, you know, our customer base. Well, what ends up happening, and as many of you know, Creo is not just a product that you can pick up off the shelf and turn on and start going and start creating parts, right? You could do that, and there's training videos, there's all sorts of stuff out there that people can research and go do. But the reality is if you're not careful, you can learn the wrong way in Creo. You can learn, you know, to have bad habits. And what ends up happening is that you end up kind of partially training somebody, and what that does is that creates something that can be dangerous, right? Untrained employees, you know, are typically a lot less efficient with the tools. They make more mistakes. Well, sometimes those mistakes can cost a lot of money, especially as you get into, you know, the designs, the final stages of designs and things like that, as you're starting to put together components. And one thing with Creo I heard many years ago, which still stands out to me, today, is that when I was teaching and when I was first learning Creo 20 some years ago, I had somebody come out and point out to me that with a Creo model, it's great that you can create it once, but ultimately that model is going to change 30 times before it goes to production. And so how efficient does your model change? All right, and that's really where having a great an employee that really understands how to build the model up front and how to work with it throughout its life cycle is really important. Now, as you look at some of the barriers to training, what we have found is that employees in today's world really can't spend that much time away from their desk. I mean, even trying to go to a one-day class or even a half, in a lot of cases, even trying to go to a class that's even 2 or 3 days, it's really hard to do. Because of all the work that all of us are being asked to do, many of us are being asked to do, a lot more with a lot less. And that is, when it comes to training, it always gets put on the back burner, right? So a lot of times we just can't spend that much time away from work. Training's expensive too. Sometimes we just don't have the budget to go to training. And so, we may look at not only just the travel budget, the cost of the class budget, but also the lost opportunity of you being away from your desk for multiple days or in a class for multiple days. There's a cost associated with that as well. And then we've also found that maybe you find a class that is physically located too far away. You might find a class you want to go to, but it's across the country, or maybe it's even just too far away from a date standpoint. You may need to get sheet metal training because you got a sheet metal project you're going to work on, but the next sheet metal class may not be for 3 or 4 weeks out there. So being able to actually get training closer to that moment of need is something that is we really want to be able to support our user base with. So as you look at our solution to this is and to helping employees get trained and to really break down those barriers, as we like to call them for learning, is our Learn Online subscription. All right, with our Learn Online subscription, what it does is it gives you unlimited access to a catalog of courses that are taught by live instructors. All right, these instructors are and these events, they're only 3 hours long, which I'll point out here in just a minute, but they're events that are scheduled, and you can actually go into our new learning management tool once you have your subscription, and you can actually see when that next class is going to be. In a lot of cases, you'll find that class you may want may only be a few days away from when you need it, and you can register yourself right into that class. And then when it comes time to take the class, we provide everything you need for that training event, including a Creo in the Cloud license. So you don't even have to attend this class on the computer in which Creo is installed. All right, you could attend this using, your home laptop, your home computer. You can do it from really anywhere that you have an internet connection and a way to communicate, via phone. All right, or via, voice over IP. All right, so very neat, and this is a very easy solution for everybody to get in and get trained. You don't, like I said, you don't even have to worry about bringing your own license to Creo. We supply everything. Now, how does this whole experience work? What's it look like? What's it feel like? Well, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to explore our catalogs. And our catalogs are on ptc.com, and you can go to ptc.com and you can click on the Education and Support tab across the top of the page, and you'll find PTC University underneath that in the flyout menu that comes down. And once you go to that page, you'll be able to, it'll take you to the PTC University page, which will then, as you scroll down to the bottom of that page, you will be able to look at our product training, and you'll see Creo, ThingWorx, and all those catalogs are there. Now, what we're going to do here, first of all, is just show you how to explore a catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and have Andrea advance the slide. We'll show you how to explore the catalogs, what classes are there. And then what we'll also show you is a little bit of the experience that you would see in our new Training Central product as you're going through, and then we'll talk through a little bit of what the experience is with the class and actually attending a class here in just a minute. So first of all, with your course catalog, this is the example of the Creo course catalog. With our Creo course catalog, what it is it's a catalog of courses. It's made up of 9 different sections here. There is even a section on certifications. So this is pretty exciting in that we've tried our hand at certifications a couple times over the years, and we never got it figured out quite right, but we have now. We've actually figured out a great solution here with our certification. So when you do complete a certification, you get a badge. It's something you can show off. It's really a neat process that you can go through. Now, our certifications are included in our subscription, so it's not an extra cost or anything on top of that. You pay one price for all of this unlimited training, and you pay one, and that in that price, you're getting the certification included as part of that package. There's also a number of e-learning courses in here as well. We call them the Learn Basics courses. These are, they're traditional e-learning courses, but they're a lot higher quality than what you've seen out of PTC University's e-learning courses of the past. These are really focused on helping people get an understanding of basic, we'll call it, the basic knowledge around Creo in some of these key areas and these key topical areas. But there's also about, currently there's about 35 different Learn Online courses, and we're heading towards 40 here in just the next month or so, where we'll be adding an additional 4 or 5 more courses to this entire curriculum. And this curriculum, we are advancing, we are adding more courses to it, and as we add more courses, as you as a subscription holder, you get the benefit of those additional courses being added. We're not asking you to pay any more for those courses. It's just part of your subscription price. So we will be continuing to evolve this and keep this going. If you want to go ahead and go to the next slide, Andrea, that would be great. All of the courses that you saw in that list, except for the Learn Basics, all the Learn Online courses, those are all instructor-led 3-hour virtual courses. All right. So the nice part about this is when you sign up for one of these courses, you're not committing your entire day to going to training. You're doing it from your desk, from your home, from a coffee shop, wherever you want to take this training from, and you've got an internet connection, because that is one of the requirements, is you do need to be connected to the internet. And each of these sessions, each of these classes, they're scheduled in a couple different time slots that we use, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But these are sessions, and we are guaranteeing to run. So anytime we have a session on the calendar and we have a student sign up, even just one student signing up for it, we're running them. So it's a great opportunity for you to get into a class. And most of our sessions right now, from a class size, they are limited to 12 people in the class. However, what ends up happening in most cases is that we get about 4 to 6 people, maybe even 7 people into a class. And that seems to really run pretty efficiently, and I think it's a good experience for everybody to be able to talk to not only some of your peers, maybe within your own team, but these classes will have students from other companies in it, so you actually get to hear from maybe some of their challenges and some of the struggles that maybe even they've had or maybe are having. So really neat technology, and also offering when it comes to the ability to learn from others, learn from the instructor, and everything we have available to you. The time blocks, and when you think about the time blocks, we do offer 4 time blocks in which these classes are scheduled into. There is a time block, Block B, that is really focused on the international community, specifically Europe, India. We don't expect you in the US to get up at 3 a.m. and start attending classes. That is really intended for our global community outside and our international community outside of the US. Block C and D are usually our most popular times. As you can see here, these are the Eastern time corresponding to probably most of you, would be 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and then there's also a Block E, which we use at 5 p.m. All right, so, but most of the time, our most popular classes are in that, and I'd say the most popularly attended classes are in that 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. slot. Now, we do schedule multiple classes in those slots. So there is a chance that, at 9 a.m., tomorrow, we're running 4 or 5 different classes. All right, so we are running quite a few classes in a given time slot. So what this does is this gives you a lot of flexibility. It gives us a lot of opportunity to put a ton of classes out there for people to schedule themselves into and to attend. In most cases, excuse me, in most cases, these fundamental classes we have, you're probably only waiting a couple of days, maybe less than 5 business days to get into any one of our classes. you know, in some cases, you might even be able to find classes yet today that you can register into, or even tomorrow. All right, so there's quite a bit of opportunity here for you to be able to jump into those classes when you need it, or maybe when it's available in your schedule. All right. Once you find a class, it's really easy to enroll in a session. So what we're going to do is show you these 4 steps of how do you enroll in a class. So we'll go ahead and skip through here, but what's going to end up happening is you're going to find a class within our Training Central product, and when you find the class you want to take, what it will do is it will actually show you the opportunities or the class sessions that are going to be available. Now, this is a little bit older slide, as you can see there. There's some classes back from in February, but what you would be able to do is select the class you want. You either want to, you know, if you would have been able to attend the one on the 10th or the one on the 19th, you could actually click the drop-down arrows, and you can see the exact time that it was going to start. And then once you choose, you know, the class that you think is going to fit best with you, then you can just go ahead and you can click on the enroll session, and that's going to enroll you in a class. All right, so you'll get email confirmation once that happens. You'll see it come up on the screen saying you've been accepted into that class, and the system will then automatically start sending you emails. So go ahead to the next slide. So the system will send you an email, and it will tell you you've been successfully enrolled into a class, and it even comes with a calendar invite attached to that email. So what's nice is you can click on that calendar invite, add it to your Outlook calendar so it reserves and blocks off that time for you. As many of you probably do, like I do, I live by my calendar, you know, day to day, and you know, being able to block that time off is really important so that I know where I need to be, and I remember that I've got to go to a class at that point in time. Plus, it ensures it communicates to everybody around me that I'm going to be taking that training that might be trying to schedule meetings with me. Now, in that calendar invite is nice because we give you a link right back to your class. So when it comes time to take that class, all you got to do is click on the link, and it will automatically fire up a WEBEX session or a GoToMeeting session. You know, we use WEBEX to perform a lot of this training. So it will automatically start up a shared session for you, and then and you'll connect with the instructor. And then from there and from that page, you'll also be able to connect to your Creo in the cloud environment, as well as download your training guide that would be used for the class. Now, there's also in the email communications, there are some pre-class preparation tools and tips and techniques and things that we send you as well. So you will be able to go ahead and test your WebEx connection capability. You can also test out our what we call AppStream. We use a product called Amazon AppStream to deliver Creo in the cloud to you. And then we also have some instructions on how to get started, you know, the day of class. You know, sometimes as you're getting started with your first class, sometimes that can be a little bit tricky. We do have a support team there to help you. So if there are any issues, you will be able to connect with somebody that will help you get into the class. And the instructors are also there to help as well. Now, for the class materials, if you go back one slide there just quickly, there is like I said, there is class materials that you'll be able to download. There's a guide that we'll give you, and that guide will come to you via a PDF. And then if you want to print it out, you are more than welcome to. A lot of people will just usually keep the PDF, you know, on their desktop, on their computer, and just, you know, work off of it that way. It works just fine. Now, attending a class, when you attend a class, it is best to go back one. There we go. Thank you, Andrew. When you're attending a class, it's best to have a dual monitor setup. And the reason we say that is it's great to have the instructor presentation on one monitor. The instructor is going to be presenting a few slides. They're going to show you a lot of demonstrations. You're going to work with that instructor to get through the exercises that we have for you in this class. But you're going to want to have a second monitor really for your training environments, for that Creo in the cloud environment that we're going to provide for you. You're going to want to have that on a second monitor. If you don't have a second monitor, it's not the end of the world. I've attended classes and done it with my little laptop here, and it's doable, but a second monitor is very helpful. And then you can also have a third display option if you want. You can throw, you can absolutely throw your training guide on an iPad or even a third display. That's even better yet, but it's not a requirement by any means. And then of course you'll want to have some kind of a headset to talk with us so your hands are free. All right, so I think that's kind of a give me, but I do point that out to folks so they're not coming after me with lawsuits for them trying to hold the phone in their neck and having a broken neck. All right, so that's not what we want. Now, when you do go in and any of your classes that you are registered for in our Training Central product, they will actually show up under your courses. There is a section in there where you can actually go in and see what classes you're registered for, what classes you have completed. This is an unlimited subscription, so what is really neat about this is that if you go in and you complete a class, and let's say it's on sheet metal, but you don't use sheet metal for the next few weeks, and maybe you want to go back 3 or 4 weeks from now and you say, boy, I took that sheet metal training, I don't remember everything, I want to go back and do that again. You can. It's an unlimited subscription. So if you want to go back and repeat any classes, you want to go back and maybe the first time you went through, your mind wasn't thinking right, or maybe it was just too complex of a subject at the point in time, you want to repeat that class, you absolutely can. You can take a class as many times as you want. So go ahead and go on to the next slide. When you do get into and you're getting into your class, what you will see in the system is that as you click on that link from your meeting invite, from your calendar invite, it's going to take you to a page like this where it'll show you the class you're about to attend, it'll show you the date of the class you selected, and then you'll see a button over here where it's just going to launch your VILT. When you do that, it's going to go ahead and launch your setup and get you into WebEx and so on, and it's really that easy. It'll go ahead and launch everything for you. If you don't have a WebEx setup on your environment in your computer, that might be a little bit of a minute or two for it to connect. There's also ways to connect without downloading a thin client. You can do it with or without. So there's different options there that we can help you walk through as you're trying to get connected as well. Under the content tab, that's actually where you'll be able to download your guide. You'll also be able to get to your Creo in the Cloud training environment and everything you need under the content tab here. That's a little bit great out there. Now, once you have completed a course, you will get a little icon up here that says you have completed the course. The way the course completion is done is basically by basically by time. All right, so if you're in a course and after about an hour of the course being there and you attending the course, then it will start to this will actually start to highlight and let you know that you've been in the class and you've completed at that point. If you do want to go back and repeat a course, you may have to unenroll yourself from a course first, and then you can retake and actually go in and re-sign up for that course again. All right, so there is a very easy way to do that and very simple buttons that are very clear and show you how to go about that process. All right, now attending a class is a little bit different. If you've ever attended one of our PTC University trainings, and any of our classes, maybe that 3HTI has presented, the material is different with our new content. All right, and with this new training strategy that we've brought to market. One of the things that you're going to see right away with our content is it's much more engaging. We have removed a lot of the text on the slides that we'll be presenting. We've actually introduced some new topical areas that really focus a lot more on helping our users and our user base understand a lot more of the why you do things in Creo than just how you do things in Creo. A lot of our content in the past has very much been focused on, well, how do you do this in Creo, and it really hasn't touched on the why. The other thing that you're going to find in this content is that we focus a lot more on getting the user into Creo and spending a lot more time using Creo during these training sessions than some of our traditional older classes that we've delivered over the many years. And the reason and how we do that is that we're going to only spend a few minutes on some of these different topical areas. And because this is a virtual, these courses are delivered virtually, we have to make sure that we are keeping people's attention, and the way to keep people's attention is to change what you're doing on the screen every 3 to 5 minutes. All right, most of us have a very short attention span these days, and so we have to be able to change what we're doing, change what's on the screen, change our activity, and that's what you'll see with a lot of this content. And that's what makes a 3-hour class really fly by And what we've noticed is a lot of people really enjoy the experience because they're also balanced and they're learning a little bit better because we're not throwing as much information at you as fast as what some of our old traditional training might have been doing. Now, there are exercises in that content. There are, yeah, I'll go ahead. We'll talk about this for a second. There are exercises in the content. You will find that our exercises are not as detailed as what they were in the past, and we've done that on purpose. The other thing that we've experienced and we've learned over the years is that being able to give a student a set of instructions that are more like tasks to go complete is actually a better learning experience because it forces them to learn the environment instead of Creo. It forces them to learn how to do it. The instructors are going to demonstrate to the users how to do these exercises that they're going to be stepping through, and they'll be showing them the exact picks and clicks through that process. But as a user, it's great to be able to really have to learn on your own a little bit and to learn through making mistakes and really experiencing the software rather than getting a bunch of detailed instructions that give you really give you everything every piece of information almost to the point where you're getting spoon-fed too much, right? And you're not really learning. So that's one of the things that you'll really find with this content is really unique. This content is also version agnostic. Right? You're no longer going to see classes that are based on Creo 3, Creo 4, Creo 5, Creo 6. You're no longer going to see that. All of this content is always based on the latest and greatest version, but it also applies to even our previous versions. So what you'll find, and the example I use with most people is that if you're on Creo 4, or maybe you're also on Creo 7 now, all right, you'll find that creating an extrusion in Creo 4 isn't that much different from creating an extrusion in Creo 7, right? There are little nuances that may be changed along the way, some enhancements along the way, and our instructors will walk you through those. So what we're really focused on is helping make sure that everybody understands the workflows, all right, that you're going through in order to create some of these different feature types and some of the different commands that you might be using, because that's really the most important piece of it. All right, go ahead. Now, with our classes, the other thing we do ask that as you complete a class, we want you to submit the feedback for our via our system. Our feedback forms are very simple. They take you seconds to fill out, but it's a great way for us to be able to understand how we're doing, what do we need to improve on, what we need to change in the content. Those are really important things. When you think about what can you do next after you completed a class, go take more classes. Go sign up for that next class, all right? And you can sign up for as many classes as you want. Some of our classes do have prerequisites that we recommend you go take, but we're not forcing you to complete those prerequisites before you go take them, all right? So if you want to jump right into a Modeling 2 course, you don't have to complete Modeling 1 in order to get to that, all right? But I will just forewarn you that there might be some topics in a Modeling 2 that maybe we expect you to know from Modeling 1, all right, and so on. And then, of course, if you're ready, we do have the 2 certifications. A fundamental certification is something that everybody, after they've completed just 3 days worth of training, should be able to attend or pass. And it's very simple. It's a very simple process to go through the certification. The certification is not simple. It is a very complex set of questions that will test your knowledge of the product, but if you've gone through our fundamentals classes, you will be ready for it, and you do have 2 opportunities to pass that certification, with our subscription. And if you can't get past it in 2, we can help you get a reset for a 3rd try, but you do have 2 opportunities to get past that certification with an 80% score. All right, so when you think about kind of price points and value of where is the value, what is Learn Online, what's the value of it? Learn Online is priced at $1,000 per year per user. All right, it is a registered user license. I get that question a lot, and we've priced it at a registered user price point. All right, we really thought about this really long and hard and how we go about doing that. But when you think about the $1,000 price point compared to what you might spend just trying to get somebody through an intro class, all right, our old intro class, which was 5 days long, training is somewhere around $600 a day, $500-600 a day these days. When you think about it, you would be $3,000 invested into somebody just getting them through an intro class. all right? And that's just 5 days of training, all right? And let alone all the travel costs and advanced training and certifications you might want. What you're getting for the $1,000 is you're getting up to about 3 weeks worth of training. All right, you're getting up to, if you were to take all of this content plus all the new stuff we're bringing into it, you're getting, probably, by the end of this month, it'll be almost 4 weeks worth of training material that you're getting access to for that $1,000 price point. So it's a really, and when you think about, the value you're getting out of it, it's, we have found that this is a extremely attractive price point for many people, and it's something that a lot of people pretty much get value out of by the time they complete about 2 days worth of Learn Online classes, which most people find that they get the return on their investment within a month, maybe month and a half of signing up for it, because they get in there and they consume that content, and people really get excited about getting in there and consuming the content that they need very quickly and very easily. So that's what we've got to present today. We're pretty excited about this. And if you have any questions, you can always talk to your 3HTI reps, and they are armed and ready to get you guys some quotes. You can always direct questions to us. We are happy to do that as well. If you've got any questions that maybe around the specifics, the content, things like that, we're happy to answer those. But we will work with our 3HTI folks and get you guys quotes that you want, any questions you might have answered. We're here to help, and we're pretty excited about being able to offer this with 3HTI.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott.
Well, thank you.
Very, very well presented. Very well placed. Yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to type those in the dashboard at this time. Once again, PTC has done a really good job of thinking about training and getting people to better use Creo, and it's all about driving adoption. So hopefully, like for me personally, one of the things that we're really trying to get our salespeople up on Salesforce, and adopting Salesforce, we're in this big push for it. And when I start to get frustrated with Salesforce, I start to think, well, how much time have I taken training on Salesforce? So I really, commend PTC and think they've done a great job in providing a tool here that is very, very flexible, and very focused on the customer and their time constraints. So very nicely done. So there are no questions at this time. Andrea or Kate, do either of you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, your employees and your users are gonna want to know how to use Creo. And we understand that there are a ton of barriers that go into training. So with this offering and giving you the opportunity to have your employees trained at a very, very attractive price point, will change the way of their attitude. It's going to change the way they work, and they will spend a lot more time focusing on their day-to-day job and a lot less time YouTubing how to use Creo and how to running around, who knows this, who knows that. So I definitely support the Learn platform, and I think it can change a lot of how people work in their day-to-day.
Good point. Thank you, Andrea. Well, I want to thank Andrea. I want to thank Scott and Kate, who popped on. But at this point, Kate Shaw at PTC. So at this point, I think there is a question coming in. Someone wants a synopsis of the material so they can share with their staff. Yes, we will. We'll get you some information that you can share with your staff. Not a problem at all. Glad to do it. So at this point, I mean, here's my information on the screen. You can contact us at info@3HTI if you have any questions, or contact your 3HTI rep. We're going to be dismissed at this point, but I just want to thank our audience, everyone, for being on today and taking a look at this at Creo LEARN. Hopefully this was good information, and I thought it was a great presentation. So hopefully you did as well. So thanks again, Scott Barkman, Kate Shaw, and Andrea Davis for being with us today. And have a great day.
All right, thank you guys. Take care.
Thanks,
Take
everyone.
care, everyone.